What's going on, YouTube? James here. Welcome back to James Talks Movies, where today we are going to be reviewing the new fantasy comedy movie called If. Now, If is a movie that's directed by John Krasinski and stars Ryan Reynolds, Kaylee Fleming, Emily Blunt, Steve Carell, and Matt Damon, among many others. Yes, guys, this cast is stacked. It has a lot of fun celebrity cameos in here, playing imaginary friends. The main plot of this movie follows this main character, B, who is played by Kaylee Fleming. And B is kind of going through a little rough patch in her life with her parents. One of her parents, her dad, is in the hospital getting a heart surgery. Her mom unfortunately passed away. This is all revealed in the first couple minutes of the movie, so I don't consider that a spoiler. So yeah, hard family life situations going on. And because of that, she's kind of struggling with finding the inner child with herself again and having that joy in life that she once had. But that all is hopefully gonna change once she ends up seeing these imaginary friends. These imaginary friends who have lost the kids that they once had. All of their kids that they had grew up and don't really believe in them anymore. So these imaginary friends don't have anyone to kind of be with anymore because everyone is growing up. So after B finds these imaginary friends, she's enlisted to kind of help them to find new kids and new relationships with kids. So that can happen, and also to find her inner child self again. So that is the main plot synopsis of If. But is If as enchanting as the premise makes it sound like it is? Or is this movie that, after watching it, makes me wanna imagine this movie had never happened? Let's see. Okay, so this movie, like I said, is directed by John Krasinski and stars a bunch of actors, very famous, well-known actors, playing these ifs. And before I get into kind of my thoughts on the movie, I kind of want to, of course, like I do with all my reviews, kind of give background on my thoughts on what I was thinking going into this movie. Was I excited? Was I not excited? And overall with this movie, I don't know if you guys have seen my video I did a couple months back. That was my top 5 most anticipated movies of 2024. But this If movie was definitely on the list. I really feel like it was gonna be really fun to get to kind of see a movie that has a very different premise of a family movie that has fantastical creatures that we don't really get to see in movies that often, movies that have fantastical premises. If that makes sense, we don't really get to see those types of movies anymore. So I was just really excited to see a movie that everyone is describing as a live action Pixar film, and I just thought that premise, that kind of idea of blending animation with a heartfelt story at its core was gonna be really fun. And also with this movie, I've heard a lot of great things about John Krasinski's direction, and that he's a really good director, but I've actually never seen any of his movies. The Quiet Place movies are movies that I just have never gone around to. Those are the other two movies he's directed, all the Quiet Place movies, and I just haven't gotten around to them. They've always sounded interesting for me to check out. I've always wanted to, but they're just not ones that I have. So, yeah, I will check them out if any of you guys want me to and review them. But with this movie, this was my first time entering John Krasinski's world, and seeing how well he directs his movies. And to get right into kind of what I thought about this movie, I thought this movie was pretty good. It's definitely more towards the kids. That's definitely the target audience of this movie. At least I think kids will get more out of it than some adults probably will, just because there's so many kind of fun, silly, slapstick humor in here that kids will really gravitate towards. Definitely a movie that has a lot of jokes for kids, but that's not to say that any adult or teenage kid like me won't find anything with this movie, because I do feel like it's still really fun to kind of see these characters and kind of just get to see this creative world come to life. You have comedic actors in here. You have John Krasinski. He directed this movie, but he also plays our main character, Bee's dad, and in here, and you also have Steve Carell. And these two actors, if you don't know, both of them have worked in the show The Office, which is a very famous comedy series. They're both in here, and because those two actors are really funny, you still get some very funny lines in here that makes you really fall in love with these characters. You have the character of Bee in here, and Bee is a character, like I said before the intro, is a character who's going with a lot of grief, just has a lot in her life that's going on. So you have, on top of the fantastical world that Bee is experiencing in here, you also have the flip side where she's kind of struggling mentally with all of this family drama and stuff that's going on, and you get this nice message because of that, just to kind of never let that inner child of you go. There's always gonna be that inner child for you to go back to in your life, and that you can tap back into. It's never gonna go away. You don't have to be all serious and stuff as you grow up to get by. Sometimes it's way easier to just be silly and fun, and that'll just make the hard times go away faster. So, yes, guys, that is kind of a nice message in here that I really like that this movie did. There's a lot of beautiful script writing in here. John Krasinski also wrote this movie. Lots of beautiful lines in here in the script that really make you think and just add a lot to the drama and the kind of heartfelt side of this movie. You have the character of B in here, who is a very likable character from the start. Kaylee Fleming, who plays B, gives B just a very happy, outgoing personality that makes you want to root for her, that makes you want to go and see her achieve what she wants to achieve. You have just, she's very outgoing, like I said, very just very happy, and you can really tell that B really loves everyone and just wants to make everyone happy, and that just makes her a very likable character. So yes, guys, overall, I really like If. However, I do have some gripes with the movie. There's a couple, like I said, before, there's a couple of jokes that didn't land specifically to me because it's kind of more targeted towards kids. There are definitely some jokes in here, like I said, that all do land because, you know, there's some fun actors in here that can be pretty funny, like Steve Carell and John Krasinski. But also on top of that, like I said also before, there's this dramatic avenue aspect to the movie that involves B's family, that does a lot of stuff with them going on with her dad having surgery and her mom unfortunately passing away. And I feel like the dramatic avenues in here were needed for just to kind of get the point of the movie across. But I do kind of feel like it should have been tackled in a new way or just kind of focused on more, because it ends up feeling like two conflicting tones in the movie where you have one, this fantastical, fun, over-the-top, fun world with all the ifs and getting to know all these fun, fantastical, colorful characters, but on the flip side, you have B's story and getting to know the characters with her family and stuff like that, and it kind of turns into more of a character study type movie, where it just feels really weird that they're kind of mixing these two tones of somber and dramatic with this over-the-top fun movie with all these fantastical, colorful characters. And I feel like why people are kind of calling this a live-action Pixar film is it's kind of a movie that, you know, Pixar does this thing where they kind of have these fun over-the-top characters, but also have serious issues in their movies that makes you think and cry and all this stuff. But where I think If kind of does that wrong and not as good as Pixar is, I feel like they don't really use the characters enough, use the actual premise enough, and kind of mix those two together. Like, you don't get a lot of the fantastical ifs. You don't get a lot of the imaginary friends kind of walking her through this journey and stuff like that. You kind of have her grandmother do it, or her dad, and because of that, you kind of go back and forth. I feel like it would have hit a little better if she learned her lessons and learned everything through just inside this world, where you can at the same time explore more of this world. You don't also get to know a lot about this world. You start to, but you kind of just go back to the real world and B's family when you get invested in this world of the imaginary friends. So I just wish there was a little bit more interaction between B and the imaginary friends that kind of I feel like would have hit harder with the message of the movie, because that's the whole point of the movie. You want to tap into your inner child, so I wish there was more of her kind of tapping into her inner child, and getting to kind of explore her emotions within this world. I don't know if that makes any sense whatsoever, but I feel like if you are going to make a movie that with all these characters and have this deep connection and deep themes in the movie, I just feel like it would have been better to kind of mix the two together a little bit more and kind of do it that way, because all the characters in here are fun, and I feel like if you don't know a lot about these characters, then it just kind of makes the movie feel a little disjointed at times. But anyways, guys, that is my thoughts on If. If you guys haven't seen If, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification after you subscribe so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.